Hi there, this is Harry and welcome back to Advanced English Lessons with Harry, where I try to help you to get a better understanding of the English language. Okay, so in this particular Advanced English lesson, we're looking at common expressions with make. Common expressions with make. So an Advanced English lesson, common expressions with make. Now, a lot of students confuse make and do. What do we make and what do we do? Let me just give you a quick note about that. Make is typically used when we talk about creating something. So that's the most important thing. You make something. For example, my mother made a cake yesterday. My mother made a cake yesterday. This tablecloth on the table is made of linen. This tablecloth is made of linen. BMW cars are made in Germany. So they're all things you can touch, you can feel, you can see. Okay, they're tangible. So my mother made a cake yesterday, the tablecloth is made of linen, and the BMW car is made in Germany. So when we use make, it's about things we create. Now, when we talk about do, it's when we talk about doing some activity. For example, doing your homework, doing the household chores at the weekend if you do those. So it's all about general activities. Okay, so that's the key difference between make and do. And in this lesson, I'm going to focus just on make so I don't confuse you. Okay, so all of these expressions are common expressions with make. Now, these are not the most common because a lot of the common ones are very, very easy. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about making breakfast or making your bed, which, yeah, are simple examples of it, to make the breakfast every morning, make your bed when you get up before you go to work. So I'm going to look at ones that are a little bit more complicated, yeah, or maybe ones that you may not have used, but you can try to use them. So I've got 20 on my list. To make a deal, yeah. So when we make a deal with somebody, we agree about something, okay? It could be to make a deal about buying somebody's car, yeah? Okay, or you could make a deal to sell him your house or to buy his house. So you shake hands, you make a deal. So somebody might quite simply say, okay, are you happy with the price? Yeah, okay, let's make a deal on that. We'll fix that price, and then you fix the date or you sign a contract, and when the contract is ready, then you make the payment. To make a deal. We can make at the deadline, okay? So if you've got a project that you're working on, it could be a school project, university project, a project in work, or just simply it could be you're redecorating your house or you're refurbishing some of the rooms and you put together a plan and you've got deadlines when you want to get things completed. So you make the deadline or you don't make the deadline. We have to work harder this week so that we can make that deadline by the end of the month. Otherwise, we won't get bonuses. Okay, so that's a very straightforward way to use it. Do you think we'll make the deadline? Meaning, do you think we'll achieve what we have to achieve by that date, 12 o'clock midnight, or close of business on the Friday, whatever the deadline happens to be? We can make a fool of ourselves. I've done it plenty of times. You get absolutely terribly drunk, you fall over and everybody laughs and you make a fool of yourself. Or you say the inappropriate thing at the wrong time and you go, oops, I don't think I should have said that. So you make a fool of yourself. So to make a fool of yourself is when you say or do something that other people find funny or strange or embarrassing, and you can only say, oops, sorry, yeah, to make a fool of yourself. You could be very, very lucky and you can make a fortune. You can win the lotto and make a fortune. You can have a brilliant idea and invent the next app and make a fortune. You could just sit back on your bum and you can inherit lots of money from a wealthy aunt, uncle or parent and make a fortune. Okay, so to make a fortune means to come into a lot of money for something that you have done. Or if you're sitting on your bum and it's inherited, then for something you haven't done. Okay, except being born into the right family. Make a fortune. We can make a fuss of somebody. Okay, so if our favorite aunt or uncle or our favorite niece or nephew, or our grandparents. We make a fuss of them because we really like them. We really like spending time with them. We don't see them so often, so we make a fuss. We get the cakes ready, the tea ready, and when they arrive, we welcome them with open arms. We give them the favorite chair. We bring them the paper. We chat to them, and then we give them some food. So we make a fuss of people. We can make a fuss of our pet dog. Lots of people you see make a fuss of their dog because they're really excited and enjoy spending time with the dog or cat. So they make a fuss of them, buy them things, have them a nice soft, comfy bed to sleep in, all of those sort of things. And we can also say to somebody, don't make a fuss. So if you're going to visit your friends, you get invited there, you say, oh, great, it'd be lovely to come across and see you and the kids again. But look, don't make a fuss. I'll be there for a couple of hours. I don't need anything. Whatever you're eating, I'll eat. So don't go to any trouble. Please don't make a fuss. To make a mess. Kids love making a mess. Kids make a mess, they don't even realize it, and you look in the room, you think a bomb had exploded. There's clothes everywhere, books everywhere, the bed is all messy, so you just close the door and go downstairs and go, oh my God, what a mess. So they make a mess. Or you tell them, okay, you can play upstairs in the attic room, but promise me, don't make a mess. And of course, you go up, the place is upside down, to make a mess. To make a mistake. Now, we don't do a mistake. This is a classic mistake that people make. So this is where the confusion comes in. So it's not do a mistake, it's make a mistake. Oh, I made a mistake. I'll have to erase that and start again. So if you're like me, when you're trying to type quickly on your laptop keyboard, occasionally you hit the wrong letter or you hit the wrong key and something happens. So you make a mistake. Or if you're like me, when you book flight tickets to go to a different country and you arrive there on the 21st of May and you wonder why your ticket won't let you through the electronic gate. And when the security guy comes to you and says, yeah, but this ticket was for yesterday. So you booked the ticket for the day before and you arrived the following day because you just misread, as I did, misread the ticket. So to make a mistake. Oops, I made a mistake. To make a point. Well, when you make a point, you want to tell somebody something. You want to tell somebody something important. You want to make sure people understand. So if you're in the meeting and somebody says something that you don't agree with, then you say, excuse me, I'd like to make a point here. So there's something you want to say to correct somebody, to make sure they understand what is happening, or to make sure to let them know that they are making a mistake in something they have said, and you want to correct the situation. So you want to make a point. Oh, that was a good point he made yesterday. So you can use it in that context also. But we have another way to use make a point. So somebody tells you, or your wife or your partner tells you, oh, don't forget your mother's birthday. It's the day after tomorrow. Okay, yeah, I'll make a point of calling her today, and I'll call round and I'll bring cake and flowers because she likes that. So to make a point of doing something, to sort of put a mental note in your mental diary to make sure that you call her, you buy the flowers, and you go round to see her, to make a point of doing something. To make a promise. Oh, well, we all make promises, and sometimes we don't always keep them. So there's a wonderful expression, don't make a promise you cannot keep. Okay, better off not making the promise at all. But we promise our kids, yes, I'll take you to the zoo at the weekend. Yes, I'll play football with you on Sunday. Yes, I'll get you that for Christmas if you behave yourself. So you make a promise. Okay, you can also make a promise to yourself. I'm going to stop eating sweets. I'm going to stop eating cakes, but I'm going to wait until after Christmas. You make a promise to yourself or to somebody else. What we like to do often is make friends, okay? People like to make friends because they don't like to be on their own. They go to school, the question is asked, will he make friends easily? Of course he will. He really mixes well. You go to university, you like to make new friends. When you join a new company, you like to make friends with the people you work for. The friendships may not last forever, but it's good to make friends. Make fun. Yeah, well, this can be good and bad. We can make fun of somebody, which is not so pleasant, yeah, particularly if they don't like it, yeah. So you might laugh and the other people might laugh, but the person that you are making fun of may not laugh, yeah. So you have to be really, really careful that it's not too personal, yeah. But if we make fun, yeah, so it's just when we have a good time, we play board games. We play with the kids in the garden, we run around, we jump around, whatever we do. If you're on a holiday and you've got a pool, you jump in and out of the pool, up and down the slides and all these other crazy things, and you make fun. We often say to the kids, well, you don't need me, you can make your own fun. Yeah, you can make fun out of boxes, you can make fun out of Lego, you can make fun of absolutely everything if you have some sort of ideas in your head. So, you just need to have an imagination, so to make fun. There's an expression using do here, but I'll explain it to you. To make do, okay, it's not a mistake, okay? To make do means just to accept something. So usually to accept something less than what you had hoped for. So you wanted to cook something in the evening, but you haven't been to the supermarket for quite a few days and you're not quite sure what's in the fridge. And your partner says, well, look, we'll just order in some food. No, I don't really want to. It's so unhealthy. I'll make do with what's in the fridge. So you open the fridge and you've got some eggs and you've got some pasta and you've got some tomatoes and so there's enough here. I'll make do with what I have here. I'll come up with some sort of omelette or something that we can eat. It'll be very, very tasty. So to make do means to put up with what you have, because either you just can't be bothered to do something else, or it'll be quite sufficient. Yeah? Will that make do? Will you be able to do what you want with that? Yes, that'll be fine. I'll make do with the eggs and these vegetables, and I'll come up with a nice omelette. To make do. We all work after we've left university or whatever we've done, or training we've done, because we have to or need to make a living. Okay, so we make a living as the doctor. We make a living as a financial controller. We make a living as an operative in a IT company. Whatever it is that you do, or you might not do it all your life, but this is how you make a living. So somebody might just ask you the simple question, how do you make a living? What it means is, what job do you do? What work do you do? How do you get your income? Okay, so it's a question, how do you make a living? It's a statement, I would like to make a decent living. I'd like a job that will allow me to rent my own home, buy my own home, start my family, whatever it might be, to make a living. Somebody, one of the kids, might have a wonderful idea about what they want to be, and you say, that's great, it's a really, really interesting job, but will you make a living? Meaning, will you get enough money to get the things you want, to do the traveling you want to do, to buy the car you want to buy, whatever it might be, to make a living? Or question, will you make a living, or can you make a living out of that? To make yourself heard, to make yourself known, and to make yourself understood. So these are three similar ways. I'll just explain them. So it's to make yourself either heard, understood, or known. So how do you make yourself heard? Well, you might have to speak up a little more loudly, okay? Or perhaps you'll have to speak a little bit more intellectually or with a little bit more knowledge, and in that way you can make yourself heard. To make yourself understood, sometimes you have to speak a little bit more plainly, a little more clearly, and indeed when you're teaching English, to make yourself understood, you have to speak a little bit more slowly. So sometimes I get accused of speaking a little bit too quickly, so apologies for that. But to make yourself understood, it's more important to speak clearly than to speak slowly. Okay, so to speak clearly, to make yourself understood. To make yourself known, well, if you do something that people recognize you for, you score the winning goal for the school football team, or you'll get the best sales in your department 2 or 3 months in a row, you get married to the best looking girl in the university, you'll certainly make yourself known for those reasons. Okay, so make yourself known, understood, and heard. When we talk, or when we explain something, or when we're making presentations, we want to make sense. Okay, so we want to talk sense. We don't want to talk nonsense. We want to talk sense. We want to make sense. So when we make sense, things are clear, things are understood, and things are very, very well explained. Now, if somebody, like typically when kids get excited or upset, they start talking and crying at the same time, and it's very, very hard to know what they're trying to say. So a parent will calm or try to calm the child down and say, come on, you're not making sense. What happened? Take a deep breath and tell me slowly. So I wish you would make sense. Okay, so, or you look at something and it's quite puzzling and you're trying to figure it out and say, well, this just doesn't make sense at all. I mean, this is all over the place. I mean, what are we supposed to do with this? So you have to try and start from the beginning and work your way through, like unraveling a ball of string to get to the other end so that you can make sense of whatever message you got, whatever instructions were given, or whatever email was sent to you, to make sense of it. Now, to make someone's day. Do you remember the movies? Go on, make my day.
Make my day.
Yeah, so yes, this is the old Clint Eastwood phrase in some of his Dirty Harry movies, yeah? So, not me, Dirty Harry, yeah? So he was a detective and he said, some punk or some thief he really wanted to shoot, or as he would say, to blow away. He said, go on, make my day, yeah? So when you make someone's day, you make it a special day. You buy your wife a really wonderful present if she lets you know what you want for what she wants for her birthday or Christmas, then you can make her day. So when she opens the present, there it is, wonderful sparkling diamond or the new camera, whatever it is she wanted to make her day. So when you make someone's day, you make it special, something for them to remember. Next, and it's number 17, to make time. We can make time for someone. We can make time for everyone. We can make time for ourselves. It means allocating a particular amount of time in the day just for you, allocating a particular amount of time to spend with the kids. Yeah. So, or you might just say to the boss, I'll just leave it there or send me the file. I'll make time somehow and I'll get it done. So you'll squeeze it in to your very, very busy schedule to make time for something. Now, just before I go on there, I'd just like to ask you, if you do feel that you like this particular lesson, then please like the video. And if you can, subscribe to the channel because it really, really helps. Okay, let's just get back to our lesson. And remember, we're talking about advanced English expressions about make. Okay, so we only got a few more to do. We're on number 18 now, so 3 more. Make believe. Now, this is a nice expression that people use when they're talking about magic. Okay, so when somebody has a great imagination, yeah, they think of something. It could be about Peter Pan or some other story, and they reenact it in their room, and they dress up, and they really believe it. They believe it's really happening. So we say, it's make believe, to make something or believe that something is actually happening. So fairy stories, or Santa Claus, whatever it happens to be, a little bit of make-believe is good for people to feel that it is, in fact, reality. Okay, make-believe. Then we have an expression, make or break. It's make or break. Now, when we use that expression, make or break, it means that either something will be successful or it will be a failure. So there's no in-between. So you might get an expression like this, a situation. Company is doing okay, but then it runs into some difficult trading months, and you talk to your other partners and say, well, look, I think the next few months are going to be really make or break. If we don't get a few new customers, or those customers we have, if they don't pay those fees and we don't chase them, then we're going to have a cash flow problem, and really it's going to be touch and go whether this business survives. So it's going to be a really make or break time for us. So we need to put in every effort we can to get those invoices paid. We need to put in every effort we can to find those new customers. We just need to do that for the next few months. I'm sure we can, but it's going to be very difficult. But yeah, there's no two ways about it. It's going to be make or break. So make or break means success or failure, but there's nothing in between. And then finally, we've got to makes two of us. Yeah, that makes two of us. We use this expression when we want to agree with somebody at something that they have said. So perhaps your friend is complaining about all the work he has to do, complaining about the weather, wishing and hoping he was going on that ski holiday next week and not next year, that he could get the promotion or buy the new car. And you say, yeah, that makes two of us. Yeah, I feel exactly the same way. It's been a long year and I'm just about getting to the end of my rope on this. So that makes two of us. So when you want to agree with somebody, particularly when he's talking in a negative way, then you can say, yeah, that makes two of us. Okay, meaning both of us have exactly the same thought, the same idea, the same wishes. Okay, so there are 20 collocations or expressions using make. As I said to you at the very beginning, students often confuse make and do. So here we're talking about making concrete things. So I've given you a list of them. I said there are 20, so some of them are a little bit unusual. You mightn't have heard of them before. So practice them, listen to it a couple of times, listen to my examples, and try to put in some of your own examples. And if you have any difficulty and you want some more help, then, as I said, here's the address, www.englishlessonviaskype.com. I'm very happy to hear from you, very happy to help you. I really appreciate when you listen. I really appreciate the comments that you send me. So this is Harry saying goodbye for this particular lesson, and join me again soon.